Hi everyone, this is the all-new 2015 or 2016, depending on what market region you're in, Volvo XC90. It really is all new as well. It's got a scalable platform, or scalable architecture as they call it, which is going to be used on a number of new Volvos coming up in the future. This is all part of the new ownership of Geely Holding, or Geely Holding, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's a Chinese company that's taken over Volvo from Ford. So in other words, there's a lot riding on this new model because it's a brand new Volvo. Most of the current showroom range is based on a Ford platform, whereas this is, brand new. The variant we've got here is the T6 Inscription. The T8 hybrid is going to be a very interesting model as well. It's got a twin charge engine with a hybrid. It's about 300 kilowatts of power. But that doesn't arrive in Australia until later in the year. With the Inscription package, you get this chrome detailing around the front, and along here you've got a little chrome strip. Some chrome detailing at the back bumper bar and a little badge as well. I think it's a really nice design. It's still got a bit of traditional Volvo theme to it, such as the big long tail lights which are seen on the V60 wagon and things like that. But around at the front is where you'll notice the more modern design language, which will be applied to a number of future models. So it's got those Thor hammer headlights, LEDs, and a big gaping grille, vertical slats. It looks quite prestigious in my opinion. It looks, it really stands out amongst the somewhat boring German rivals. And it definitely looks big too. It's got a lot of road presence. As part of Volvo's plan to downsize all of its engines, the T6 doesn't come with a 3-litre straight 6 turbo anymore. This has got a 2-litre turbocharged and supercharged engine. We'll just have a look at it. So there's nothing too special to look at. It's got a small little turbocharger down there, and a supercharger somewhere stuffed away in there too. It produces 235 kilowatts at 5,700 RPM and 400 newton meters from 2,200 to 5,400. So you've got a pretty wide spread of torque, although 400 newton meters isn't much for a massive SUV. It's certainly not as much torque as you get in some of the turbo diesels on the market at the moment. Let's start it up and have a listen to what it sounds like. So you've got this cool little toggle switch. It's not a push button start, it's just sort of a twist. It doesn't sound especially sporty, or it's not meant to be, attractive soundtrack in any way. But the response is really good. It's for a 2-litre engine, it feels very energetic and it feels powerful even just revving it like that. So I'll show you a bit more of the interior. Like the exterior, the interior is all new. So there's nothing in here that you'll see in a current generation Volvo. It's the dash design, everything is bespoke to this model, and it will probably be forward from this. It will probably be used in other Volvo models. Seating center in the dash is this new touchscreen system. It's like an iPad or a tablet or whatever you use. You can swipe different sides and things. It is complicated to work out where all the options are, but it's got a home button, sort of takes you to the main menu. But then you can turn all your safety systems on and off. And if you go the other way, you got your radio. It doesn't have digital radio. It's definitely a lot better than Volvo's previous system. I love this wood walnut trimming. It's a $700 option, but it feels really nice. It feels like wood, which it is wood, but like you get a splinter on it almost. It's that authentic. It definitely adds to the ambience of the car too. Also adding to the ambience is the Bowers & Wilkins stereo system. It's the most expensive option on this car actually. It's $4,500 in Australia, but it does produce really nice sounds, clarity and bass, and yeah, if you like your music, it's definitely an option to tick. Following on from the V40 and the S60, or the updated S60, it's got a fully digital instrument cluster, slightly configurable as well. I'm not a massive fan of the white interior. As you can see, this one's already pretty dirty and it's only done 3,000 kilometers. Add another, 10,000 or 20,000 on top of that and I could see this getting very dirty. But it definitely looks very nice. Down the bottom you've got driver mode, which is actually a $160 option. I don't know why it's optional. This car retails for $100,950 in Australia, this model. And then this exact car has got about $20,000 worth of options on it. And this is one of them. So it gives you just different driving modes. If you put it into the high performance mode, the suspension raises. Again, this has got an air suspension option, which is quite cool. It's very comfortable. It catches bumps and speed bumps and things like that, and it of course adjusts the height depending on what you're doing. Let's have a look at the back seats. So heaps of room. Volvo's traditional air vents in the B pillars, and then here's this temperature control that you've got in the back, so you can turn up the fan and change the temperature. More vents there as well. The seats are very nice, sporty sort of bucket seats, almost individual for each of them. Well, they are individual, they can be adjusted, but yeah, they're almost like the front seats. Plenty of headroom as well. This one's got the $2,950 sunroof option. When you open the screen there, it just really brightens up the interior, makes you feel like you're in some luxury hotel. It's quite nice. But there's no shortage of room in here. Like, I've got miles of leg room and miles of headroom. This is definitely competing against the biggest and best the world can offer, really. It's massive in here. I'll show you the third row seats. Actually, before we do that, I'll show you the cargo space. Because, yeah, that's massive. That goes all the way back to those seats, and that's without the seats even popped up. The third row seat popped up. Yeah, a BMW X5 and a Mercedes GLE, or M-Class as it was previously known as, doesn't offer as much space as this. Yeah, I'll show you those rear seats, the third row seats. To get them up, it's a bit of a hassle once they're up. Yeah, they're best suited for kids. I can't quite fit in here. But I mean, they're usable if you've got some relatives coming from out of state or overseas or something like that, and you need to get everyone in. You can definitely do that. But yeah, and little cubby holes, and your vents, of course, that's very nice. Let's take it for a drive and see how she goes. So even with those rear seats, the third row up, you've still got a bit of space there, more so than you do in some other 7-seat SUVs. The engine's got plenty of torque going up even this steep hill here. It feels ready to move, which is good considering this car weighs just under 2,000 kilos. Good visibility, you can see all around, thin A-pillars. You do sit quite high as well. You can raise the seat up obviously to get an even more perched up position. But those that like the tall driving position of an SUV will instantly warm to this. Also new to this car is a 8-speed automatic transmission, or a Geartronic as Volvo calls it. There's no paddle shifters, but you do get a little plus minus movement on the gear shifter. On a poor surface road like this, the air suspension option is really nice. It just catches every bump that's thrown its way. It handles pretty good for a large SUV. There's a slight bit of body roll, but that's to be expected. There's a little bit of a bounce with the front end going around tight corners, but in general it feels really nice. It's energetic, as enthusiastic as you want an SUV to be. It feels confident. It's very quiet. Road noise is kept to an absolute minimum, probably thanks to the air suspension option. If you push it a little bit more, we'll see how it reacts. The engine goes good. Plenty of mid-range torque. Nice kickback. Yeah, no, it feels nice. And not just for a Volvo, it feels like a well put together machine. I'm not a huge fan of the 8-speed automatic. It tends to have a mind of its own, but in a bad way. So sometimes you move your foot a little bit and it kicks down and jerks a little bit, and then other times it'll just hold the gear. But then you can change. If you put it into comfort mode, it tends to stay in the higher gears for better economy. This car comes with plenty of safety features as standard, as you would expect. It doesn't just come with stability control. It's got corner stability control, understeer control, and rollover stability control. And if all of those fail, you've also got run-off road protection. What that is if the car recognises that you're going to leave the road, it just sort of prepares the cabin, so it tightens your seatbelt and things like that. For some reason, the driver support package is optional, even on this fairly high-spec XC90, sorry, which is the flagship model in Volvo's showroom. So I'd expect it to come with, everything that it has to offer as standard. Volvo seems to be following the Germans in that respect, in scaling back their cars and making certain things options just to make it a bit of extra money, I guess. Here we have the 2016 Volvo XC90 T6 SUV, and it's fitted with Autopilot technology. Overseas you can get a more extensive version, or more comprehensive version of Autopilot, which allows the car to be driven at pretty much all speeds, but on certain roads. In Australia it's limited to 50 kilometers an hour. So it's perfect for dense traffic conditions just like this. So to start it off, you just select Autopilot and then wait for it to pick up the lines. Hit go, and that's it. It'll drive, it'll steer, it'll brake, all by itself, accelerate, and it will keep that safe distance between you and the car in front of it. So every now and again it says to apply steering. I'm not sure if that's a part of the Australian law that just, it won't let completely autonomous vehicles drive in Australia at the moment, or if I'm just not doing it right. But the automatic steering is quite aggressive. Like it's taking full control of the car. It's not just guiding it in the lanes. It's constantly controlling the car. But it asks you to apply steering about every 30 seconds or something. But other than that, it's complete. I'm not touching the pedals, I'm not steering, I'm not doing anything. But it's only limited to 50 kilometers an hour, but it's perfect in conditions like this. And as we approach 50 kilometers an hour, it's probably going to stop. Is it going to stay in this lane? Yep. So that's 50 kilometers an hour. And we're starting to speed up, apply steering. It's still going at it won't go past 50 kilometers an hour. And it's saying cancelled, no lines detected. But it's a very interesting technology. It's one that we can probably either look forward to or just be prepared for, depending on whether you like it or not. But it's quite surreal having the car steer and brake all by itself and you not being in control. You can also, of course, set the cruise control, normal adaptive cruise control, and it will keep that safe distance. You can change the distance settings. I'm not sure if you can see that, but you can spread the gap between you and the car in front of you. We'll be doing a full review of this car on performancedrive.com.au with our usual performance videos, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks for watching.